Wrong button. Alright, I am back. Still sick. I don't know why, but I am. Been going on for like 2 weeks now, it seems like. But, yeah, it's just more or less of the same. It's just, I'm gonna go ahead and look for random quests and whatnot. But yeah, I'm gonna mute myself again, since I don't want to be coughing and ruining the video, so, yeah, here we go.
You there! The Ivory Brigade has need of you.
Have you seen the note? If you seek companions for your adventuring, look no further. This one can help with that. Ah, of course. These listings are where other adventurers, much like yourself, can declare their interest. Those of a similar proclivity can join up together and form guilds. Take a look. This one is sure a group suited to your needs awaits you. Have you had the chance to review the guild listings, friend? Wonderful! This one hopes you found something that interests you. Too often, this harsh world becomes isolating. Finding companions can make it bearable, Here, a little something for your time. This one is quite pleased you stopped by, and hopes that you find a guild that appeals to you. Amsad wishes you many friendships and adventures in your future. The listings are a place for like-minded adventurers to come together. The world is quite vast, no? Many times it is difficult to find those with similar interests to your own. With this register, you need look no further.
Adventure.
I've got a lot to do here.
You have my word. If the Counselor is in Leowin or the surrounding countryside, the Ivory Brigade will find you. You there?
Kyne's Aegis needs your help. Sea giants and vampires are everywhere. Hear ye, card sharps and collectors! Test your wits and courage in a brand new card game, Tales of Tribute!
Let me guess. You found one of those ridiculous handbills Reginus posted all over town. Gods, it's like we're holding auditions for children's theater. Please understand, this is a serious commitment. You really wish to join the Antiquarian Circle? The University of Gwylem's most prestigious historical society. We scour the continent for lost antiquities, collecting and cataloging as we go. We've made hundreds of discoveries, thanks in no small part to our scrying tool, the Antiquarian's Eye. An invention of our university's founder, Chirain Fyre. It allows the wielder's mind to travel vast distances and find buried relics, truths lost to history. Gazing into the eye requires no small measure of talent. How talented are you, I wonder? Admission to the circle begins easily enough. Just place your hand on the antiquarian's eye. If you possess the aptitude, you will attune to the eye immediately. If you don't possess the aptitude, the eye will reject you. Couldn't be simpler. Impressive. We rarely see such an energetic attunement. Well, well, well. It seems I underestimated you. With a reaction like that, you may well rival Gabrielle, our most accomplished antiquarian. I wonder what secrets you might find gazing through the eye. In a hurry, are we? We'll teach you to use the eye in due course. First, do you vow to uphold the principles and traditions of the Circle, to catalog your discoveries for future generations and give a true accounting of Tamriel's history? An excellent decision. Mastering the eye is no small endeavor. But with Gabriel's tutelage and my rigorous oversight, we may make a true scholar of you yet. Welcome to the Circle, Antiquarian. Now then, we should begin your education in earnest. I suggest you speak with Gabriel Benneler. I can provide some scholarly advice, but when it comes to using the antiquarian's eye itself, you'll find no better teacher than Gabrielle. Downstairs, poring over more maps and tomes, no doubt. Honestly, the girl never stops working. I'd almost think she was trying to make the rest of us look bad if she wasn't so confoundedly cheerful. At any rate, she'll get you sorted. Speak with me again once Gabrielle's taught you the basics. I know I can come across as chilly, but truthfully, I'm anxious to get you into the field. Because I'm not a mage. Don't make a face. I never said I possess the aptitude. We all contribute to the Circle in our own way. You may wield the eye, but rest assured, my skill as a writer is no less important. Not just writing. Few can match my knowledge of ancient history, aside from those who lived through it all, like that insufferable dark elf Devaith Fear. You may find these relics, but it's incumbent upon me to tell you what they are.
Brave meeting, Antiquarian, and welcome to the Circle. You have no idea what a relief it is to bring another warrior on board. Not many of us brawling scholars left in the world, it seems.
Oh, it's you. What a welcome surprise. By Mara, that business with Angoff feels like lifetimes ago. I'm glad to see you're still in good health. So, Verida gave you an antiquarian's eye, eh? You mean to join the Antiquarian Circle? Wow, really? That's uncharacteristically gracious of her. Huh. Well, anyway, let's get started. It all begins with concentration. The eye wants to show you what you seek. So, clear your thoughts, and conjure up a picture of the relic in your mind. The exciting part. Gaze into the eye and focus on the facets in the glass. Take a breath and try to unify the symbols into a single pattern. Eventually, you'll stop looking at the lens and start looking through it. why don't we just give it a try? Well done. Now fix your eyes on the center and the corners of the lens. Then turn your focus inward toward the facets in the glass. Concentrate, and the facets should merge. Unifying the lens into a single pattern will perfectly attune the eye, but you only need to reach the foci to gain a rough idea of the object's location. If you lose your focus, just try again. I'll meet you in the courtyard. Looks like this is the spot. Remember to move cautiously. Use the right tool for the right level of excavation, and don't rush yourself. Even careful digging can result in an unsteady dig site, so be mindful of its stability. Remember to move cautiously. Use the right tool for the right level of excavation, and don't rush yourself. Even careful digging can result in an unsteady dig site, so be mindful of its stability. There you have it. You're a proper antiquarian now. Seems you have quite a knack for it, too. Just keep practicing with the antiquarian's eye and master those digging techniques. I'm confident you'll be recovering priceless relics in no time. I'd report back to Verida and let her know you successfully extracted your first antiquity. Don't expect too much in the way of praise, but trust me, she'll be ecstatic. Once you've checked in, start looking for relics. No time like the present, eh?
Welcome back, Antiquarian. I trust your time with Gabrielle was illuminating. Excellent. I had a good feeling about you, and as usual, I was right. From now on, consider yourself free to pursue any antiquities that interest you. We will catalog your findings for study, and together we will uncover the mysteries of this world. You have a great deal of work to do, Antiquarian. Wouldn't you agree? We're all quite busy, truth be told, but I suppose I can make more time for our most promising initiates. Is there something I can help you with? That is entirely up to you. What cultures spark your curiosity? What region of Tamriel do you yearn to visit? Or, if it's simple wealth you're after, what item might fetch a prize on the second-hand market? The choice is yours. Well, your Antiquities Codex contains only those antiquities we're currently aware of. If you want to make a unique discovery of your own, you'll need to find a lead. Something that gives you a place to start. Practically anywhere, believe it or not. Tucked away in chests, in the pockets of bandits, stashed in musty ruins. Just explore Tamriel as any adventurer would, and you're bound to find some. The potential applications of our discoveries are endless. You might find items worthy of display in your home, or discover a long-forgotten technique for body ornamentation. You might even recover jewelry or armor imbued with arcane power. Oh, I couldn't possibly choose. In any case, my interest in these objects has less to do with their uses and more to do with their historical value. Amalian swore she found parts of a mechanical mount, but that sounds a bit outlandish to me.
Hold! Speak to me before entering Mournhold, citizen.
made us proud today.
Our ranks have swelled in recent months, and our coffers are overflowing with jewels and gold. We want to see the spoils go to the best among us. It's a verbal handshake. You know what? Go talk to Glirian the Redbeard. He'll tell you everything you need to know.
Glirian's a good sort. Just not too friendly. Doesn't show any emotions, really. Is bloodthirst an emotion? Never mind. Oh, the usual. Mother robbed tombs for decades in the dunes of Alakir. She raised me on her hip and forced me to join the Undaunted with her. It's the sort of thing every daughter has to deal with. Oh yes, she's a proud member. Goes by the name Hel Ralala. Just don't, you know, talk to her. She's a mean old bird. A funny story. When she was young, some thick skull heard her name and had trouble pronouncing it. Her real name is Hel Alragath, just like me. But Ralala stuck, and she's been using it for 30 years.
Is there something I can do for you, Undaunted? Marge, Urgalag, and I have been selected to curate a challenge for our fellows. We will be sending Undaunted into the depths of Tamriel in search of treasure and glory. The difference is the reward. Every day, we three decide on specific dungeons the crew will explore. Steadfast like yourself can take a pledge to see the job done. Marge's demeanor best suits the new blood. I understand the fragility of life. I will not sugarcoat the tasks I give our more seasoned cohorts. And Urgalag will simply choose based on her desire to break you or take you. The result is the same. You earn keys, which you can turn into us to gain gear we keep on hand. Harder challenges result in more keys and more opportunities to fill your pockets. Very good. Then make your introduction to Urgalag Chiefbane if you value your ability to chew. She would not take being snubbed lightly. Make your introduction to Urgalag brief. Sparking her ire or her interest could be detrimental to your health.
You a talker or a gawker? Might earn a busted lip either way. Guess I'll leave your face as it is then. Can't make any promises about that in the future. That's not always a threat. Faces are good for more than punching on rare occasion. I suppose I'll be getting used to seeing yours around. Or not. Could get it mauled off on your first pledge. Break hearts, break faces, break anything I feel like, really. And when the mood strikes, I assign pledges. Undaunted who want to be among the first to see a newly discovered dungeon go through me. Even we haven't seen everything Nirn has to offer. Some Undaunted sponsor expeditions to find new challenges to overcome. That earns them the privilege of taking the first crack. You stake a claim on some new dungeons, I'll offer you pledges for it. Good. Tell Maj I said to give you a key. Maybe that'll help you keep that face long enough for me to get to know it. Go on. Finish your business with Maj. Then you can try to impress me. Let's say I don't bow to tradition, especially concerning romance. Someone catches my eye, I'll win their heart. Bloodied my blade on dozens of jealous lovers. Not to mention preachy types who can't mind their own business. In the old clans? Yeah. When Orsimer disapprove of your behavior, blades do the talking. I'm very opinionated.
Hey there, scrub. You'd best stay back. We are speaking of blood and glory, for we are undaunted. Hey there, scrub. You'd best stay back. Did she now? She must like you. In that case, you're going to need all the help you can get. Take your key and come back when you're ready to take the pledge. I can't wait to see what you're made of.
Last time we spoke, Turok Redclaws called you a milksop. Don't let him get away with that.
Take the undaunted pledge.
looking to drink? Right. So if that's north, that means... Wait, that's not right. Are you from around here? Sorry, I'm not familiar with Gideon and... Wait, are you here because of my flyers? Thank Ruptka. Call me Yusara. I'm here on a thrilling, inspirational journey, and I could really use a sturdy companion. I'm an author. Aspiring, really. I've penned a few romance novels, but they all lack, what's the word? Authenticity, yes. So, I resolved to get out into the world and find my muse. Now, here's the exciting part. I found it in Castle Geovese. Yes, well, not exactly. A tragic affair played out there years ago, and love-struck spirits still haunt the castle. I acquired a magic lantern that allows me to speak to the ghosts. But you know, ghosts. I need you to ward off the angrier spirits. Thank you for agreeing to accompany me. With your help, my next romance novel will be a masterpiece. Here, take the lantern. Now, fair warning, I've never actually used it, but I heard a ghostly woman wanders the city gardens. We can test it there. You made it! All right, this is the place where people see the spirit. Go on and try out the lantern. So, here we are, the city gardens. Now, I guess it's time to rouse the spirits, eh? I'm ready. Are you ready? If you're not, we can wait a while. In fact, maybe we should come back tomorrow. Start fresh, you know? Nervous? Just look at me. I'm steady as a leaf. Steady as a rock, I mean. Even so, I prefer that you be the one to use the lantern. It's these damn Redguard taboos. Undead spirits and creatures really put us off our appetite. Yes, absolutely. No one ever said writing the world's greatest romance novel would be easy. Goosebumps or no, I'm going to unravel this tale and put it to good use. Now then, let's get on with it before I lose my nerve. Perhaps they're near that overturned slab?
Who intrudes upon my grief? Geovese, you can see me? It matters little. The miseries of Castle Geovese bind me here, bind all of us here. We are cursed. Our gardens wither, our once great walls crumble, and my gentle son feels nothing but heartache. I am Duchess Estella of Castle Geovese. As for the curse, it is the work of a vile trollop named Elizinda. Arche scorn her soul. My darling boy, Mathen was infatuated with her. And how did she repay his affection? By murdering him in cold blood. I cannot bear to speak of it anymore. My poor Mathen. I sense his presence sometimes. He's bound to the place where he died. An old cottage northeast of Geovese. Place where he and Elizinda twisted. Help him. Help my son. Succeed where his...
It worked! I told you it would work! Tall Papa's breeches, what a tale! A ghostly duchess, lusty young nobles, betrayal and murder. This story's got it all. Whew. Is it getting hot out here or is it just me? Yes, tied to a cottage nearby. I can almost picture it. Rustic, secluded, tossel quilts, embers smoldering on the hearth. Gives me the prickles. Almost makes you forget someone likely died there. Something she said does trouble me a bit. The Duchess said the lover's name was Alazinda. That was my great-great-grandmother's name. It can't be a coincidence, can it? She lived in Gideon for a time before moving back to Alakir. Do you think my ancestor murdered Mathin? This is the cottage the Duchess mentioned, I think. Not all that romantic, is it? Let's look around. Nothing but creaky floorboards and old weeds for me. I knew I should have brought my spectacles. What did you find? May I? Her anguish just jumps off the page, doesn't it? So, Mathin intended to marry someone else and Alazinda killed him in a fit of passion. Can you imagine loving someone so deeply that you end up murdering them? Gods, that's romantic. Sort of. It's a ring of Mara, the sort of ring used in a pledge of marriage. Mathin might have intended to give it to this mysterious fiancé or... I'll hang on to the ring. Let's use the lantern. Maybe Mathin can shed some light on this.
Who's there? Alazinda, my love. Is it you?
So this is Mathin? Gracious.
This light. It offers some respite from my sorrows. You have my thanks. I am Mathin Galenus, heir to the Duchy of Gioves. What brings you to this place? Curse? Is heartache not curse enough? My great love, Alazinda, poisoned me on the very night I meant to propose to her. Someone deceived her. Told her I meant to marry another. She killed me, yes. But it was an act of jealous grief, not witchcraft. I do not know. I've learned that certain objects hold a grip on the soul. Things we treasured in life. In my darkest moments, I sometimes feel drawn to the chapel where they laid my body to rest. I see harsh light glinting off my golden armor. Maybe these long, gray years make it difficult to think. Seek out the chapel. You will find it to the west, amidst the ruins of the castle. If my armor keeps me in this sorry state, I beg you to find it. Without love, There is nothing for me here. My lady, forgive my impertinence, but you are the very image of my lost love, Alizinda. How could this be?
Oh my goodness. I believe I'm her descendant, brave Sir Duke, Baron, whatever. My name's Ysara, by the way. What were we talking about again?
You share her spirit, Lady Ysara. At last, fate grants me a kindness.
We must help him. That poor soul. I'll catch up to you at the chapel, all right? I need to jot down some notes. Well, here we are, and not a scrap of golden armor in sight. Let's have a look around. Well, here we are, and not a scrap of golden armor in sight. Let's have a look. What's that you've got there? Not a golden helm by any chance. A magical incantation. The handwriting is different from Alizinda's journal. That means she can't be responsible for the curse. I knew my ancestor wasn't a sorceress. A murderer? Maybe, but not a sorceress. Of course, this all begs the question. Yes, and more importantly, why? The person who cast the spell clearly had an axe to grind. Maybe it was a court wizard or some jilted witch. My novel's less romance and mystery at this point. Let's use the lantern again. Maybe the culprit's here.
What are you doing here? Why aren't you caring for my boy? Did you find my dear Mathen? Can't I trust you to locate a simple cottage? How is that possible? It had to be Alizinda. When Mathen died, the Duchy's light died with him. That Redguard wench cast us into darkness. If I could just have brought him back, I could have... Yes, Arkay, forgive me. I wept over his body in this very chapel for 3 days without sleep or nourishment. My grief was ocean deep. He was my only boy. So I cast a simple spell. I tried to draw him back with promises of glory. I failed. I cast the spell over his armor and sword, but it went awry. I wrote everything down. You can find my notes in my private study beneath the eastern wall. If you find his helm, breastplate, and shield too, you might be able to set things right.
Necromancy? How could she...
You? Oh, I see you well enough, Redguard. You think I don't notice the family resemblance? You stay away from my boy!
Tava's feathers. Bit touchy, isn't she? Let's make our way to this private study. Carefully.
Leave me alone. Just leave me
His own mother toying with dark magic in this very room. What a plot twist. You found something. You found Duchess Estella's notes that quickly? Thank Rooped Guy can rely on your eyes. Can barely see a thing in this place. What do they say? Really? Oh, I think I spotted some on the way across the castle grounds. I knew that herbalism workshop would come in handy someday. If we do manage to find the armor, be careful pulling it out of the tangle. Heartsbane's quite deadly. I saw a clump of Heartsbane on the way here. Come on! This way, I think. There! That's Heartsbane, right? You found his helm? We're off to a great start. Unless... Sorry. I feel like we've assembled most of the clues to this mystery, but I just can't shake the feeling that we're missing something here. Well, Duchess Estella got them into the situation, right? She cast the ugly spell that cursed poor Mathin, and now we're gathering up the items she used to make this mistake in the first place? It can't be that simple. What are we missing? Maybe not. She wasn't a professional necromancer. Maybe she missed something too. Remember what Mathin told us? Certain objects take hold of the soul. If that's the case, isn't it odd that we found him in the cottage instead of the chapel? Only one way to find out. Let's use the lantern again. I'm still carrying the ring. If he followed us here, maybe we're onto something.
Ysara, I had not expected to see you again. Why do you summon me? Where are we? It's been so long since I walked the grounds of the castle, I scarcely recognize it. Whatever the place, it is good to speak to someone again, and to see the fair image of my lost love. Spell? Some ill-conceived plot to resurrect me, I presume. Mother never could suppress her passion for the occult. Now we both pay the price. But even so, I feel something else now. Some other force that nags at my soul. Something fairer, softer. My Ring of Mara? I had not thought to see it again. I see it clearly now, though. At rest near the heart of the fair Lady Ysara. The course is clear, friend. Gather my armor and rid me of the curse. In the meantime, I will bask in Ysara's glow. Lady Ysara, you bear not only Alizinda's ring, but her spirit as well. Had I a heart, it would pound like a drum at the sight of you.
Thank you, Mathin. I'm sorry for what happened to you. My friend and I will fix it, I promise.
Having you beside me is all I need. Come, let me sweep you away. Find my armor and break the curse. Your friend will be safe with me in the meantime.
Oh my! What just happened? Mathin, what did you do?
You have nothing to fear, lovely Ysara. I only hope to spend another moment with you. I mean no harm. You are so like Alizinda.
You summon? Where is your lecherous friend? Just like her ancestor, ensnaring her betters, meddling in family affairs. Huh. Mathen should be thanking me for sparing him the pain. Mathen truly meant to marry Alizinda, a woman with no pedigree, no means, and no great talent. She was a no one. I couldn't bear the idea of him throwing his future, and that of our duchy, away over some childish romance. So I spread a rumor. I only meant to split them apart. It was for his own good. Typical of low-bred paupers, she overreacted. Mathen died by her hand, not mine. None of this matters. What matters is breaking the curse. I need one last object. The Sword of Gioves. It is in the mausoleum, beneath the Great Bridge, guarded by Calvis Vannon, 1st Duke of Gioves. Retrieve the sword and bring everything you found to Tavia's tower. If all goes as it should, we can reverse the spell, and set both of us free. I don't want that woman lingering near my son any more than you do. Find the sword, and bring it to the tower. My darling boy. We can finally end this curse.
And now I part with the Lady Ysara as well? Is there nothing you won't take from me?
Place the regalia, adventurer. It is well past time we left.
Farewell, dear lady. I wish we had more time.
Mathen! Why aren't you... Mathen!
I am sorry for absconding with dear Lady Ysara. I found myself conflicted, torn between two intentions. One in the cursed armor, and another in the Ring of Mara. You sundered Mother's curse, but it seems my soul remains tied to the ring. Trapped, perhaps. The foul burden of necromancy no longer weighs me down, but my connection to the ring is no less intense. It's passionate, fiery. It's like all my unfulfilled dreams and desires remain bound to that band, and to Lady Ysara. Perhaps part of me still yearns for the warmth of Aetherius, but now, as I behold the beautiful Lady Ysara, I'm given pause. She is so like my beloved Alizinda, with a heart as warm as the sands she walked as a child. I must speak with her. Lady Ysara, light of my afterlife. That ring you carry is the key to my heart. I leave my fate in your hands.
My hands? Mathen, what are you saying?
If you choose to wear the ring, I will remain by your side. An attentive and loving guardian.
Are you serious? Tall Papa, preserve me.
Destroy the ring, and I will pass to Aetherius. The choice, my lady, is yours.
Did I just get a proposal from a ghost? Up until now, the only man who ever wooed me was a stable hand in Bergama. I know I should recoil at this. It's profane, blasphemous, right? But gods, he's cute, and the way he speaks, it's like a dream. Ugh! How could he lay something like this at my feet? I can barely decide which boots to wear most days. When he swept me away, he told me his heart was torn to pieces. He said I was the only balm. He said I was his second chance. I don't know. Aside from the whole ghostly murder victim thing, this is what my heart always yearned for. It's why I write romance novels. The thought that I could bring him love and joy is intoxicating. Still, he deserves peace and rest, right? I want you to stay, Mathen. I really do. But it wouldn't be fair to you or Alizinda. Our friend will destroy the ring.
I understand. Yours is a loving heart, Ysara. I pray you find someone worthy to share it with.
Goodbye, Mathen. Ugh. Isn't this always the way? You find the man of your dreams, but it turns out he's the lost soul of a man your ancestor poisoned in a fit of passion 200 years ago. Just my luck. You're right, of course. I'm desperate for some grand romance, but it's no more real than my stories if I act selfishly. Ugh. Let's focus on the good things, right? A curse broken, a writer inspired, and it's all your doing. Thank you, my friend. Gods, he was gorgeous. I'll find someone, eventually. But I doubt they'll have a chest like that. Are you joking? Of course I'm going to write about this. Tragedy, lies, murder, necromancy, intrigue, true love. This will be a bestseller, guaranteed. More importantly, it will help me remember Mathen. No, I have crown blood on my mother's side. The idea that a beloved ancestor who accomplished so much in Sentinel played a role in some salacious and deadly affair? It would not go over well. At all. Better to keep that to myself. I did. At least, I think I did. I've never been one of those women who thinks about marriage and children. That's why I have my novels, right? To revel in the fun part of love. The only part I've ever really been interested in. Maybe. I guess we'll never find out, will we? One thing's for sure, love is much more complicated than I ever gave it credit for. That shouldn't really come as a surprise to someone who writes about it professionally, but here we are.
Can you believe it? Dragons in your own homeland. What are you going to do?
This one does not know, but he hopes his family is safe in Riverwood.
Alright, so normally at the end of a video I would do the daily writs and whatnot. But like I say, I'm trying to keep videos close to an hour, just so that way I won't get cut off mid-storyline of a quest, you know. But we're at an hour 17, so I don't know how much I have left, so at the beginning of the next video I'll do the writs and deposit stuff in the bank and whatnot. Like I say, I don't like doing it at the beginning just because it doesn't give us an opportunity to do the storylines, so it is what it is though. I'll probably have enough time later today after this uploads, but we'll see. Otherwise, the worst case scenario, I can just get on and do it myself, you know, without recording. But otherwise, yeah, that'll be it for today, so peace out.